Happy Halloween, everybody. This is Josh Johnson. I am a producer with Greensboro Television Network. And if you've watched our channel, hopefully you've watched our channel over the past few years, and you've seen what we call Ghostboro. This year, we're kind of getting back into the groove. Obviously, we all are after COVID. So we thought maybe we would this year take an opportunity to introduce to you how that got started and some of our experiences. So I have with me Jake Keys, who is the communications manager here at the city. And of course, everybody knows Mr. Chris Wilson, the deputy city manager. These guys have been a big part of coming up with the locations and going on the shoots. And in particular, Chris Wilson was kind of the inspiration for Ghostboro. So Jake, you were there that moment many years ago. How did this all get started?
Yeah, really organic. It was a Friday, just like we're recording here today, and I think we just a couple of us were, here in the building and just chit chatting. And Chris can get to talking sometimes, and he starts just he gets a little bit in the mood around Halloween and stuff, and he starts telling some stories from his Parks and Rec days, and starts giving us a really good ghost story, for lack of a better word, of some stuff he dealt with while out in the parks. And, we're all kind of enthralled. We're on the edge of our seats as we're just in the hallway chit-chatting. And then our boss at the time, Donnie Turlington, goes, guys, let's go down to GTN and let's record this. And, of course, Chris is game for anything and says, let's go. So, within 10 minutes, we're down in the studio of GTN, lights off, full pitch black, and just get a little light on Chris and, dude, just tell your story. And we were on the edge of our seats still, and he had just told us this story.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, when I saw it, I was the same way. I was like, "What is this?" And then I was completely sucked into the story. Yeah. So, Chris, excellent job, sir. The very next year, I think, I reached out to Jake, and then I think Jake talked at the time with Sarah Healy, who was working with us, and our first official one was at the Biltmore. Right here. Yeah. Yep. We had a great time with that one. Our storyteller there was phenomenal.
Brian Coleman is his name. And I mean, we got over there and, we had a little bit of a game plan, but I think we were also winging it a little bit like right now.
Like right now?
Right. What?
But Brian was such a gifted storyteller that he not only had 2 to 3 really fun ghost stories there in the Biltmore, but he just spewed history of downtown Greensboro, just mixed into where, I mean, it was phenomenal. It was such an interesting story to tell of how the streets were a little bit different. He brought in the laws that were going on at the time. The fact that the Biltmore, I think he said, was the first hotel in the state that had indoor plumbing. Come on, that's a pretty cool thing, right?
Yeah.
And stuff. So he just weaved all this really interesting history around some really fascinating ghost stories that made for, I mean, he set the bar high, off the bat for our Ghostboro Tales.
He really
did.
That
place is haunted, though. I have heard that since I got here, and we actually brought a consultant in when we were doing LaBauer Park from New York, straight shooter, great guy. I'll never forget, he stayed there. We were at breakfast one morning and we were sort of razzing him a little bit and said, "So is it haunted?" He lowered his newspaper, looked at us and said, "Absolutely, no doubt about it." Totally haunted.
And so from the Biltmore, then we went to Carolina. We went to Carolina Theater, which I think is pretty well known for the activity there. I think they've had actually paranormal investigators over there on more than one occasion. And I think there's a local paranormal organization that has gone there multiple times. So that was a great shoot. I think Gigi was her name, was our host for that one. She did a great job, and I think she has done some investigating. I think she's part of the group. So those were our first 2. I think then we went to McCool's. Is that correct, Jake?
Yeah. Yep, McCool's would have been next. And geez, they picked right back up, and that's the only one we've done so far that actually had video of what they consider to be, a ghost.
Oh,
and same thing, it was that orb that went right up those stairs. at McCool's that was really cool to see. And the cool thing is with Carolina Theater, Biltmore, and McCool's is those are all within a really tight area right here downtown.
Very close. Very close. Yeah. I will
and
say,
all right across from us, but we don't have any stories here in our building, luckily.
Well,
I will say that as the cameraman for this, at the Biltmore, I did have some footsteps when I was recording. Now I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag here. We do set up some shots for these. I'm sure people realize, but there are a few constructed effect shots that go into these that kind of simulate seeing an apparition. But at the Biltmore, I was upstairs after doing that particular simulated shot with Sarah. You guys went downstairs and there was some footsteps happening. I also lost battery power, which is a pretty common thing that happens. That was in the Carolina in the projector booth. So you guys, we were up there, we had told the story, you guys went back downstairs and I stayed to get some B-roll. I lost my camera battery and my light battery. And then I packed up and left and came back downstairs.
That is common though. You know,
it is
Josh,
very common.
We have a spot in Country Park. Of course, you know, there was a skirmish there. So the battle actually took place over at Guilford Battleground or the National Park. But there's a spot that a skirmish took place in Country Park. And when we would work there at night, our utility vehicles, our equipment, everything would get drained.
Yeah. Yep.
It was weird.
It's been I had two locations, the Carolina and then I think Blandwood.
Blandwood was good. That was a neat one.
I lost battery power in Blandwood upstairs in one of the bedrooms.
Yeah.
So Blandwood, and then we actually did UNCG as well, which I thought was really good.
I enjoyed that. You know, it's funny because you mentioned that we do some things to add effects. That's a for everybody out there. That's a really cool way that we also include some of the tour guides. Sometimes they help with that. And some folks really enjoy it. You'd also seen my legs more times than anyone should ever have to see. But I do recall, particularly at UNCG, the person who did that tour was so awesome, and she was nice enough to participate in sort of the effects side. You do such a great job with that.
Yeah, they were wonderful hosts over there.
Too.
Yeah,
that was fun.
And
then we had Chipotle. We had Chipotle afterwards. That's always a good day.
Yeah, that is a good thing. And so our last one was at Greensboro College. No, it was at Guilford College.
It was a Guilford.
It was a Dana Auditorium.
Yeah, because we did the graveyard too.
We did.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys taking the time to reminisce about these shoots and just to let people know we're gearing up again. We're hoping we can spend some time out at the Battleground Park District. Jake, we had talked about talking to A&T and Greensboro College.
I want to talk to A&T and
so they're
school that's been around a long time. So
absolutely.
Let's put it out there. Like if somebody has a location, send it to us.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're watching and call us at the city's number, or you can send us an email. We would love to hear from you, and stay tuned because next year we're going to kick off a whole new round of them. So, guys, thanks again. I hope you have a happy Halloween.
You too, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate both of you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate getting involved in this. This is it's that thing once a year that comes around, and man, I just look forward to it. It's a fun thing to go do and tell Greensboro's story while we're doing it.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks again, and thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.